Hello, this is Logan Adamson for my animation assignment. So today I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of kind of two of the theorists. The two theorists that I'll really cover is Paul Wells and Nathan Snow. Because the animation that I picked kind of has a lot of both in it. So I picked a short animation online called Godzilla vs. Axor. It's just a short fan film. It's basically just a fight sequence between two monsters. But throughout, I noticed a lot of the things that we talked about in Paul Wells' unit about orthodox animation. So in this animation, the two creatures are very identifiable. You can definitely tell that they are two separate entities. There are trees, and there's like a temple in the background, and those are all very identifiable. So in that sense of it, it is very orthodox. But it does get a little bit experimental at times, because the characters do things that are kind of outside the normal realm. Even like for a monster universe, there's this kind of pit that they all kind of circle around, and I'll include the video in the link in the description. It's about 9 minutes long, but essentially that it allows them to regenerate, kind of like Wolverine. And so we get to see a lot of that throughout the film too. And it's really just kind of interesting walks, kind of how like their bodies kind of change and morph to like get more powerful. One times Godzilla gets like really muscly and the other monster gets really muscly. And so it's just kind of really interesting to watch that. And how this kind of relates to Nathan Snow's theory is that this is a 3D animation. And so there were multiple times that I was looking at the texture of Godzilla and kind of the textures on the monsters and Godzilla himself, and I could imagine what it would be like to like if I were able to feel like Godzilla's skin, feel like kind of like rough, coarse, and bumpy surface. And it's not in all the shots, but there are a couple shots that you can really see like the detail and stuff. He's got like ridges on his head that are very distinct, and a kind of lot of the there's the other monster kind of has this wind effect to it, and that kind of plays into a little bit that you can kind of feel like you can imagine what it would be like to get blasted by a gust of wind by just watching how it interacts with the other monsters and things around it. And so yeah, I would really say this is a pretty good representation of just some kind of classic animation with a little bit of with the 3D theory. I just called it the Nathan Snow's theory about the 3D objects. And if you like want to dive really deep into it, it even does have a little bit of who's the other guy? Donald Crafton in it, because it does have it's a like pretty like serious fight sequence, but then even at the very end it ends with a comedic joke, so which I found was really funny. And kind of how they used that to, in a way, it was kind of a magical surprise, because at the very end Godzilla pulls out a clipboard and a pair of glasses out of nowhere. So that's kind of how I would see his theory. So in this particular thing that I picked, you can kind of fit all the theories into it. So yeah, I think it does a very good job. It's very effective. Thank you so much, and have a great day.